what it means to reciprocate. And how much can I be expected to tolerate? So I started to think about the plans I made the day unpaid, and you just can't call a spade a spade. I watch the moon, let it run my mood, can't stop thinking of you. I watch so long, nice to know you, I'll be moving on. We started off in such a nice place, we were talking the same language. I open and I'm closing, you can't stand the thought of a real beating heart. You'd be holding, having trouble owning and admit that I am hoping. I watched
What's going on, guys? It's Jake. We're back in for another video, and as you can see, my brother is running the Philadelphia Marathon, and that is what this video is about. So it's currently Saturday the 18th. His race starts tomorrow morning around 7 a.m. and we're just about to get a shakeout run done.
Last run before the race tomorrow, just kind of testing out some last minute stuff with the kit. Make sure we can carry all the necessary fuel. Feeling good. We're just hoping it's not too cold tomorrow.
Hoping it's not too cold. The forecast is looking like it's about to be around 38. And before tomorrow morning, we'll go through his exact nutrition plan for the race. So stay tuned for that. And we'll also talk about some expectations and some goals and his last 6 weeks of building mileage wise for the race. So stay tuned for that, and we'll get this shakeout run done, get the legs turning over, and we'll see you guys in a few. All right, so I'm here with Jimmy. It is the night before the race, and before we talk a little bit about everything we got going on here, I just wanted to give him an opportunity to give you guys a little bit of context from his recent training. Just tell us a little bit about your lead up into the race and mileage goals and things about that.
This is my second marathon. First one was about exactly a year ago in rehobeth. 3:27 at that marathon. We're sitting here in front of the kit for tomorrow. Running in the Alpha Flies again. These shoes blistered me severely last year, like huge blood blisters the size of like $50 on each foot. So I've been training, doing some workouts in these, and I started putting this blister tape on my feet, and it seems to work. So we're gonna run that for tomorrow. But yeah, this whole block, it's really been 6 weeks of intensity, but I had a pretty good foundation leading up to those 6 weeks of intensity and higher mileage. So this higher mileage number for me is relative, but mid 50s. I've been running about 50 to 55 miles a week for the last month and a half. It's the best I've ever felt running that amount of mileage. I've been able to execute 2 workouts per week while getting that mileage. So Sunday is normally my long run day, and then Wednesday or Thursday I'll do a workout with a lot of pace work, faster than Gold Marathon pace. So one of the key workouts, I'd say, did a couple 2x5K sessions faster than marathon pace, and I also did a straight 10K faster than marathon pace with like a 2-mile warm up, 2-mile cool down, so it ended up being every 10 miles to run anyways. But did a couple runs like that where paces for the reps were all below 640, like a 10K at like 640 pace or 639 pace in the middle of mileage. So those are big confidence boosters to go run. Definitely, hopefully sub 320, but hopefully sub 315, maybe even 310 tomorrow.
All right, so now we have a little bit more information and some context. So let's go ahead and go through all the gear we have laid out here and plans for the race in the morning.
Yeah, so this is the preparation for tomorrow. I've been using these gels that Jake provided. They're Precision Fuel and Hydration. There are 30 grams of carbs in each gel. This is what I've been using in my long runs. Some of them are caffeinated, so I have 2 caffeinated ones for tomorrow, each with 100 milligrams of caffeine. And I have 3 just regular ones without caffeine. And I plan on taking these about every half hour, 4 miles, whichever comes first or however I'm feeling. It'll be between those intervals probably. And I'd like to take them all throughout the run. Get as many carbs as possible.
You already spoke a little bit about the Alpha Flies. How you like those?
Yeah, I mean, compared to everything else that I've ran in, these just feel fast. They make it easier to run fast. So now that I found a solution for the blisters, I'm super excited.
So the forecast for tomorrow morning's run is going to be right in the high 30s to low 40s. So talk a little bit about what you're wearing as far as...
Shorts are going to be what they always are. These are the shorts I run in training. They've got a pocket on the back that I always keep my phone in. But I'm also going to run with this belt that I'm going to put the gels in tomorrow. But yeah, the weather's going to be colder in the morning. So shorts are going to go on. I'm going to wear this singlet, and then I'm going to wear a quarter zip. And if I get hot, I'm going to take this off and tie it around my waist.
And potentially we'll be on course and he can maybe hand that to us as well. How do you feel about the course?
I don't really know much about the course. I don't really know what to expect. They say it's a flat course, but there's gonna be lots of other people. I think the energy will just carry me along, so.
We kind of have everything laid out here for you guys. This is great preparation. And yeah, this is what you want to see. You know what I always say? If you fail to prepare, then you're preparing to fail. So we got everything laid out here. We're gonna get some good Z's here tonight, and we'll catch up with you guys first thing in the morning.
I might switch up to these too. High socks. Well,
Race morning.
All the preparation has been done. Just show up and perform.
We live about an hour and 15 minutes from Philly, so we will fill you guys in when we get to the race.
Jimmy was already getting after it this morning.
Oh, damn!
We're going to meet up with Jimmy because he is in his corral now. So see if we can get a quick word with him and then hopefully get some footage of him on course. So stay tuned.
We invite you to salute as the official anthem singer of the AACR Philadelphia Marathon. Oh, stay and you see through the perilous fight.
To make sure that that gets passed down appropriately, we want to make sure that we keep the roadway as clear from those articles of clothing as possible. So make sure, again, that you pin that bib on the... Taking off to begin their race. So put your hands together, my friends, for our adaptive athletes. And of course, our Achilles athletes and guides as well that are guiding them through this 26-point in Franklin Parkway, which means we are getting closer to our elite wave of athletes getting set to take off and tame Philly here this morning. We're getting clearance on the roadway. The energy is palpable. Philadelphia, are you ready? Runners, set! There we are! We are off and running at the 2023 AACR Philadelphia Marathon here in the city of brotherly love.
Tremendous field, a fleet of feet hitting the streets of Philadelphia, starting out on the beautiful Benjamin Franklin Parkway, the streets of Philadelphia.
All right, he's off. Let's go. All right, so Jimmy just went through the first 5K split. He is averaging 7:16 minute per mile pace, so absolutely crushing it this early. Hopefully he doesn't go out too strong. We'll see. All right, so Jimmy is just about through half marathon right now. We're on bikes to try to go and find him. So we'll catch up with you guys when we find him. So stay tuned. So we just made it to mile 17. Jimmy should be coming through here in just a few minutes. He came through half, averaging 7:22 pace. So right on target. Leader, let's go. Keep pushing. All right, 310 group going by.
Let's go, Jimmy! Let's go, baby. Keep pushing. Let's go!
Let's go, boys.
Yes, sir. Damn, how'd you get out here?
Let's go. I had to ride like 10 miles to get out here, bro. Yeah.
Hey, we're far away.
Yes, sir. How you feeling?
Good.
About 17 miles in. Average pace about 7:20.
about 14, but then I started taking some gels. I feel pretty good right now, for real.
Looks like you're going after it. The 310 group went up like only a minute ahead of you. We're at the aid station around mile 21, and Jimmy should be coming through here any second. The 310 group just passed. He was closing in on him at the last split. So here's how we're looking. He's crushing it, absolutely crushing it. So stoked for him. He should be coming by any second. We'll catch up with him one more time here on the bike before we head to the finish. Stay tuned. Let's go, dig, dig, dig. Come on, buddy. Come on, we'll catch up with you. So we just saw Jimmy for the final time. Got some great footage of him there, but it's time to let him do the work. All the training, it all leads up to this moment. We'll let him be in his own cave here, get to the finish line strong. Seemed like he was in good spirits, ready to dig. Last thing I said to him was, empty the tank, boys. Super excited to see how he closes, and we'll catch up with him at the finish line. Let's go. Post-marathon for Jimmy. We wanted to give the 48-hour rule at least, and we took it a little bit further to help us digest and process the effort. And so I'm here with him now. We're going to give a little post-race recap and see all his thoughts on the race.
Yeah, so like Jake said, it's 5 days after the race now. It's November 24th. The race was last Sunday, November 19th. Ended up running a 3 hour, 12 minutes, and 27 second marathon, which was about exactly a 15-minute PR for me. And I'm just over the top excited and happy with that result.
He absolutely crushed it. You guys saw the footage from race day. Tell us about the morning, getting in there a little bit, and kind of the vibes that morning before you started the race, and then your last minute decision to kind of get rid of your quarter zip jacket.
Yeah, so first of all, a shout out to you for driving us up there that morning. It was a pretty early start. Left at 3:30 in the morning. I had a pretty big carb load 2 days prior to the race. So the morning of the race, all I could eat was a big piece of toast with some honey on it. I tried to eat two, but I couldn't. I could only get one. My stomach was just feeling bloated. Did have some coffee as well, but that's all I ate. About an hour before the race, I took a gel, so I got some quick digesting carbs just prior to the race. But yeah, drove up there. We got parked in a parking garage about probably a quarter mile away, a third mile away from the start line. Kind of got situated. I was able to use the bathroom a couple times before the race, which is really crucial. I did have to pee a little bit before the start of the race though, again, but the lines at the porta potties were too long, so unfortunately I couldn't. Being my second marathon, and then my first marathon was in Rehobeth, this one being in Philly, it was just crazy the amount of people in the corral and on the race course, and it really made the running. It was probably combined with the taper, but it made the first 10 miles just feel like effortless. I think I came through the first 5K at 7:20 pace, which would have been something
22:50 or so.
Yeah, 22:50. Coming through those early 5K, 10K, 15K splits just felt so easy. And it was so cool running through the course, like through parts of the city that I've never seen before. All of the crowds on the sidelines with their signs and cheering. It really adds a lot to the experience, and it actually just gives you a lot of fuel when you're running. It makes it a lot easier to keep going.
Yeah, and one thing that we chatted about was that, like, when you're running around that many people, you almost can just get caught up in, like, the adrenaline and just accidentally overrun very easily.
Yeah, that was something that I was actually worried about a little bit, because I was right with the 3 hour and 10-minute group for probably right around the first 10K, probably the first 7 or 8K. I was right with that 3:10 group, and I felt great, but I backed off of them a little bit because I was afraid that was happening to me, that I was letting the pack drag me along and that I was actually running too fast. So I just did that being conservative. I let that group leave me just a little bit and slowed down by probably 5 seconds per mile or so.
Right. And so you're out on course, come through 10K, come through 15K, and then there's some hills that were kind of unexpected.
Yeah, really, it says that the Philly course is flat anywhere you read online. Just used to where we're running around here on the eastern shore of Maryland, it's like really flat here. So up there in Philly, I actually thought the course was hilly. Like, it was way hillier than what I expected. Like, it ran a lot of hills. I think my total vert was like 700 or so, but I don't know if that's accurate or not.
But definitely pretty hilly. And I was surprised riding the bikes too, just trying to get to him, how we had to go up some climbs, and it was just like, holy crap, these are some gnarly climbs if you were running. And even on the bike, they were pretty gnarly. All right, and the first, around mile 17, you see this massive crowd and people dancing and stuff. What's going on there?
You only saw a little taste of that because that's the part of the course that you were on the bike, but I saw stuff like that along the whole entire way, which was pretty cool. I mean, there was bands set up, people giving out beer. Aid stations were really good, I'll say that too. Like, every 2 miles there was water stations. Now, for my fueling strategy, I took a gel about every 4 miles or so, and I had a salt pill taped to each gel. And I didn't actually plan for this, but I was actually just taking the salt pills and swallowing them without any liquid before the aid station. And I was able to get them down. It wasn't ideal, but I would actually take the gel out, take the salt pill first, then take the gel, and then the aid station would be a couple minutes away normally. So I'd have them both in my stomach, and then I'd just wash it down with a little bit of water. 2 caffeinated gels with 100 milligrams of caffeine, and 3 non-caffeinated for 5 total.
Sounds like a pretty good fueling strategy, because I mean, that's about 150 grams of carbs. It's really hard to digest carbs on the run compared to when you're cycling, so that's a pretty good carb number in my opinion. So overall, great fueling strategy. I met up with Jimmy around mile 17, as you could see, and it seemed like he was kind of surprised to see me, but then they just had about another 2 or 3 miles out and then turn around and it's just a straight shot back into Philly. So tell us about those last 4 miles.
Yeah, the last 4 miles, they definitely weren't as hard as my first marathon in Rehoboth. Yes, it was harder to hold pace. I had been running about 7:20 to 7:15 pace the whole entire run. Those 7:20-ish miles in the end, I could run them, but it was a lot higher effort to be able to run them in the end. Overall, though, I really can't complain. I still had really good energy. The only thing that was a bit concerning was I was starting to feel a little bit crampy in my calves and in my quads towards the end, and I think I could have kicked a couple like 650 miles for like mile 24 and 25, but I was afraid to go any faster than that pace that I was locked into because I could feel the cramps coming in the back, and I was afraid if I kicked harder it might bring a cramp on faster and I might have to like walk or something. So
right,
but overall the energy was really good. I actually did negative split the marathon. Like last marathon I did, I had a crazy positive split,
meaning that he ran his first half a lot faster than his second half, and a negative split would be meaning that he ran his second half faster than his first half.
So this marathon I actually did have a negative split. It was barely a negative split. I only ran the second half 40 seconds faster than the first. So that's how really you want to run your marathon, is first half and the second half, they should be really close to the same.
Right, and some of the best elite marathoners in the world, you see them just barely negative splitting. So
we're barely positive splitting.
Yeah,
it's really close. They run really steady.
And that's a great sign. You get to the finish. How are you feeling after the finish? Like right when you cross the finish line, what's the first?
Right when I crossed the finish line, I was just super excited that it was done. And knowing that I got a big PR, I was just super excited, especially after 6 weeks of pretty intense build-up leading up to it. It was good to see that hard work pay off. But as soon as I crossed the finish line, the first thing, starting to walk and just noticing I'm feeling like super dizzy and super weak. And I got my medal, just feeling like destroyed and feeling like I could still cramp up at any second. So I walked around a little bit. Yeah, I was just feeling so happy after the race. Like, it was honestly like one of the best running, it was the best running race experience I've ever had. Like, it was awesome. I'm still just reflecting on that day. Like, and I just want to keep finding more. I want to run sub 305. I want to run sub 3. After I run sub 3, I'd like to see if I can run sub 255 or something. It's just addicting for a weird reason, but it's very addicting.
Nah, totally. And a lot of the viewers will understand that and definitely relate to that. Now we are, like we said earlier, 5 days out. Let's talk a little bit about how the body's coming around and how you're feeling.
Yeah, so, well, I've been doing a run streak. So I started running every day on December 2nd of 2021, and I haven't missed a single day. At least a mile a day minimum. So yeah, that means the day after the marathon, I went out for a run. And I did 2 miles the day after the marathon. And yeah, my legs were really sore, but it was nothing compared to after my first marathon. Like, they felt so much better than the day after Rehoboth. So I was able to do that 2-mile run, and I just took it really easy, just trying to get blood flow back and not run too fast and injure myself. I also worked the full day after. I was really sore and tired, but my body bounced back quick. Like, I ran the turkey drop 5K yesterday, and that felt okay. So I'm still gonna just take it easy for the next 10 days, but I really don't feel that bad.
If you guys enjoyed the video, we're gonna kind of wrap it up here. Jimmy's gonna actually be doing a 5K on New Year's Day, so
it's New Year's Day, yeah, trying to get sub 19 hopefully,
depending
on the weather.
He's thinking about, kind of like you said, taking 10 days easy and then jumping into some type of little speed work type of block. If you guys want to see more of his sessions, since I'm really close to the off season, I'll be able to go out and film some of that, so drop a comment. He's done several triathlons, but he's mostly just a runner at this point. Like he said, goals for the future, sub 3 is like a massive one. We definitely want to show you guys the journey, and
yeah, I also just want to say too that if anybody's thinking about doing Philly next year, I couldn't say enough great things about the race. It was easy to get to, the course was amazing, the energy was awesome. You don't have to win a lottery or run a certain time to sign up. You can just go on the internet and sign up. So anybody in the Mid-Atlantic, East Coast area that's close enough to Philly, I would definitely recommend that race.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for the support. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned.